And we're live. Hello, I'm Christine. This is my channel. I was like, wait, do we usually do like you introduce you guys now? I'm Christine. This is my channel. Welcome to the Booksplosion Illuminae live show. This month, our book of the month was we worked with. Oh my God, what is with me in words right now? We worked with Red House this month. Oh, hello. I'm echoing somewhere. Illuminae by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kirsoff is our book of the month today, this month. This is just a train wreck of an opening. I don't know what's going on. I'm so sorry. But we're going to be discussing Illuminae today. And if you don't know what it is about before you X out because you haven't read it yet, it's pretty cool. It takes place in the future when we live on other planets and there's a terrorist attack on this one planet. And they have to flee, and they're being chased by this other spaceship, and it's crazy because it's like all told really cool. Jesse was just showing you the book.
Trying.
Yeah. So we're gonna be going into spoilers, but you know you should read it and come back and talk to us if you haven't. But if you're here to talk to us and you've already read it, down here is down here. Is there still a question app? Is that still like?
I don't think so. I think you can ask questions in the comments on the YouTube page for this live show, and you can also ask us questions over on Twitter using the hashtag #IlluminaeSplosion. So go ask us questions there, and also leave questions in the comments.
Yeah, and in the comments, if you're asking us a question, make sure to use the hashtag #IlluminaeSplosion there too, so we know it's a question, not just a comment, because sometimes they come in super fast and it's hard to read. Okay, let's kick this off with, we also have here Jesse the Reader and Catty-tastic. There they are. There.
Hello.
And there's Kat. Hi. Since I screwed up everything here, and just
It's all right.
Jesse, why don't you kick us off with your feelings on the book?
All right. Well, I had no expectations going into this book. The one expectation that I did have was that I was just gonna like fly through it because of the way that it was formatted. But surprisingly, it did take me quite some time to read this book. And it took me like a little while to really get hooked on the story and to get hooked on the characters. It took me like around the 200-page mark for me to like really get excited about the book and what was happening. Just because I felt like it took a lot of like build up and like kind of learning the characters because of the way that it was formatted. It was a little bit complicated and like hard to follow at times. But once I hit the 200-page mark, I just like fell in love with the story. It's so crazy. There's like a lot of plot twists, and it's just a lot of fun, and I really enjoyed my time reading it.
What about you, Kat?
I loved this book. Like I had high expectations going into it, and at first, like Jesse said, there was a lot going on, and I had some trouble following it. Like especially in the beginning when we're getting all the different ship names, and there's all the captains, and I'm like, wait, what actually happened? Like I feel like if I went back and reread it now, I would follow it a lot better. But I was pretty hooked immediately into Katie and Ezra's relationship. Like even though there was a lot of names and a lot of stuff going on, like the relationship kind of grounded it for me. And I was like, why did they break up? What's going on with them? Like why are we following these two people? Like who's putting this report together and like delivering it and focusing on these two people? Like what is happening here? So I was really interested in the beginning, even though it was a little bit confusing. And then once things got started, like Jesse said, like around probably 200 pages, or really the halfway point, things got crazy, and I couldn't stop reading.
Yeah, agreed. I agree with, like, the beginning, it was a little tough with all the names and everything, but, like, by the time you're halfway through, you're like, okay, the Copernicus, the Hypatia, the Alexandria, like, you know the names. I listened to the audiobook, and I still, like, wasn't straight on all the different people, because it would be like, excerpt from blah, 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 but like then you'd figure it out when they were talking, you know, so you like knew who they were if you didn't know who their name was, what their name was and stuff. But I really enjoyed it too. Ended up enjoying it way more than I thought I was going to when I just started it. I did like the beginning though. Like I loved how it was set up. Like we're grounded in those two characters in the couple, like you said, and I liked how they carried us through everything because we always had them as a staple. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I think I gave it 5 out of 5 stars in my review, book talk.
I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars.
I gave it like 4.5 out of 5 because the beginning was a little bit confusing, but the ending totally made up for it.
Christine, do you want to talk about like what the audiobook was like? Because this is like such an interesting formatted book. Like, what was the audiobook like?
Yeah. So, like I just went on and on about the audiobook and I went like 5 seconds ago. So you guys will see that. I'm gonna post it like tomorrow. So first I want to say, like I just said, I rated it 5 out of 5 stars, and for my own enjoyment, I said I rated 4 out of 5 stars, but it's because I had to read it like in little sections, and I really would have rather chunk read this, chunk listen to it. But the audiobook definitely is 5 out of 5 stars. It's like a whole production. There's so many sound effects. There's so many different voices. For everyone has like a different actor, or the actor's doing a completely different voice. And the sound effects, like when they're on the radio and they're radioing each other, it's different. When that part when they're like coming after her and she's in the spaceship getting attacked by the Alexandria, and they're like, Bernie, pretty Bernie.
Yeah.
Like, it is so freaking creepy. There's just like voices going in the background. And
they play music. That the one scene that stood out to me is when the captain was getting attacked, and Aiden puts on classical music because he likes that, and I was like, it's terrifying.
Yeah, it's great. So they do play a little bit, but mostly like they say it, and then they'll play a little bit at the end of like the chapter, so you get the feel of it. But it's not like playing over everything. Sometimes you hear it mellow in the background, but it's still like there, and you get the ambiance. And when they're fighting, you get sound effects and stuff from like the explosions, and it's just really, really good. Like audiobooks aren't usually like this.
Awesome.
Do we have questions?
We do have questions. And for those of you joining us now, we're using the hashtag over on Twitter, hashtag Illuminae. Also leave comments down below for questions, but put a hashtag in there as well so we can see the questions. The first question I have is, who is your favorite character?
My favorite is, I think, Ezra. I don't know. I have a lot of favorites. I also really like John. And yeah, I don't know. What are you guys' favorites?
See, I liked Katie because she was such a badass, but I had a lot of fun reading Ezra, and one of my favorite perspectives was the nameless character who's transcribing the video feeds, and like especially the parts where he's talking about how Katie was like doing her covert mission, and then Ezra's doing his like covert mission. I was just cracking up reading those.
Guys, that guy's voice in the audiobook, I don't know if it's described in the book, but it's like that creepy like murderer with a thing over his voice. You know what I'm talking about? When they put on that like voice distortion, it's like and I was so creeped out the first time I heard it. I thought it was like a murder transcript like a threat, but he's there like all the time.
Yeah. I kind of weirdly really liked the computer, Aiden. Yeah, I don't know why, but he's like such a complex and strange, mysterious character, and I really liked reading about him. It's like, I don't know.
I mean,
he was really interesting.
But I don't know. For a while, I thought that he had been affected by the virus somehow, because some of the symptoms, like he was acting paranoid and he was trying to keep everyone close to him, and like that seemed like the symptoms. So I was like, did they infect him somehow? Like, what's going on with that? But then didn't seem like anything really happened there. So what was wrong with him? Like, why was he?
I think he is just developing feelings from being such a complex computer, and he sees so many humans around him that he's starting to like feel, because like he can't actually do it, but he's like becoming a being with feelings.
It's weird.
Yeah. No, I like literally, I was talking about this earlier to myself, to the camera. But like he was falling in love with Katie. Like he loves her.
Yeah. They had some feelings going on there.
That's why toward the end she was like trusting him. He was like, I was like, is there gonna be a love triangle with
Right. With the computer? It's so weird. Okay. So I have a question from the comments. This one is, what is your favorite page or pages from the book? And for Christine, what was your favorite part of the audiobook?
I kind of liked. Oh, it's hard.
Well, there was like so many like cool pages. Like for me, like one of the things that I really liked was the if I can find the page. Where's that? Like when the text started to do stuff like this, I
Yeah.
found that to be like really interesting and like fun to like read.
That was so hard to read on my
I
phone.
know. You have to like move it around.
What page is that, Jess?
This is page. Oh, it doesn't have a page number on it. 474, I'd say.
Like, I didn't see any of that until you did that Instagram, and I was like, what?
Yeah. And I also just I liked the pictures where like the text made up the images. Like this one, really cute.
I like the one where Ezra made Katie the rose because not only was that like a cool page, but also that was when like they started.
That was
started happening.
Right? What page was that on? Because I wanted to see it and I couldn't.
The rose?
Well, no, he gave her a picture, and was it a drawing of her?
No,
I know what you're talking about.
Aiden gave her a picture of her.
Yeah. Was it of her? That's what I'm assuming.
It was like a built-up picture of her, I want to say, if I can remember.
It was. It was like made of, was it numbers or was it her name?
I think it was her name. I can't find it though. Struggling.
It's near the end.
Yeah, it's definitely towards the end.
It's like right before Katie finds out that it's not Ezra.
Yeah, I love that part. I was just like, what? Did not see that coming.
I already Instagrammed this, but I love this one so much.
What page is that? How do you read that?
Like this isn't something that you read. It's just like it's like a bunch of text randomly put together. So there's just like images throughout the book. But I don't know, it's really interesting. Christine, what was your favorite part about the audiobook?
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I don't want to say the same one that I said in my book talk. I'm trying to mix it. I had a lot of favorite parts. Like, it was hard because so much of it was good. There was the part with the deaths I really liked, not because it was an interesting part of the book, but because it was really interesting how they did it on the audiobook. It was read off. Like, it felt like you were at a Holocaust memorial and someone was reading the book, the things over, but there were multiple people reading, so they'd start to overlap and stuff. It was just done really well. I liked the part when they first went after the Lincoln, too, the first time when Ezra was in it. Like, it was nerve-wracking because, wait, no, the part when the captain, when Aiden turns on the captain, that part was really cool because it was, like, really tense, the way they edited the sound and stuff. It's hard to describe, like, it's cool to listen to.
Yeah.
I really want to listen to it. Like, even though I just read the book, like, I want to listen to the audiobook because it sounds so cool.
And, like, when they would be, like, calling each other, it'd be like, Alexander, come in, Alexander. And it'd be like, Hypatia. And it was just really cool when it was like, you cannot compute. And the other one, the Hypatia commander, was like, what the fuck? What are you talking about? I cannot compute. Who is this?
How did they do all the censors? Was it like just bleeped out?
Yeah, it was bleeped. It was like shit. It was just like.
That was my favorite thing. Was like trying to figure out what the like censored word was.
Yeah, I love that. Like, maybe even though it was censored, like you could still tell what they were saying in most situations, and like there were some really funny, interesting swears happening there.
Yeah.
Mine I always felt like we're shit and fuck over and over again. I like how we're like, are you dusted? You must be dusted. Like, I was like, they're crazy. They're just like, where did that come from?
No,
Christine, I found the picture of Katie.
What page is it on?
405.
Let me look at it.
Wait, I thought dusted was like a drug that they were on or something.
Oh yeah, no, that's what I forgot about that. I did get that. Okay.
And they go like chum.
Oh my god, this is so cool.
So cool.
Yeah, and like I liked how Aiden would like randomly go into poetry and song. He would be like, I can't believe how easily she's going into the night. She's not raging. Like he would be like, she's just sitting there, like gonna die. She's gonna die. why won't you rage against the night? You know, like they would bring in those poems, like those famous poems, into what he's saying, and then he'd realize that it was a poem or something. It was weird.
Okay, somebody asks, how would you categorize this book?
Yeah, I'd say it's sci-fi.
It's sci-fi, definitely.
It's like Titanic. This is actually like Titanic in space to me. It's like hardcore Titanic, Walking Dead mashup vibes.
All right, yeah. I mean, there's also the whole like pursuit thing, and there's a lot of politics too. This book, like, there's so much going on, and I loved it. Like, I haven't read anything like this.
No, it's so different.
I feel like I would definitely pick up on like a ton of stuff if I reread it too.
Yeah, for sure. Because like the first time you're reading, like a lot of stuff goes over your head when they're just like messaging back and forth. I feel like I was talking about this in my book talk too. But there, you know, the guy who transcripts what he sees over the over like the cameras. He'll be watching Katie do stuff and like telling us how it went and stuff. He was like this funny Scottish guy in the audiobook. I'm like, I don't think it said he had. Does it say that he has an accent in the book, or is it just like no, probably not.
I don't think
Just
so.
like I was talking about, I was like, you know, the Scottish guy, blah blah blah, and then I was like, oh, I don't know if you guys know that he's Scottish.
The surveillance guy?
Yeah. He'd be like, oh fuck, she's doing this. I can't believe it. She's so little. Like, yeah, no, it was fun.
Okay, I saw a question, but it's been deleted off Twitter for some reason, but I remembered it. It said, did you think of the computer as a girl or a boy?
Oh, definitely a boy.
Yeah, I thought of it as a boy too, just because of the name Aiden. Like, it just seems like a boy name, but
it sounded like a boy too.
yeah.
I thought they referred to it as with he and him pronouns as well.
I think they did, yeah.
Did they?
I mean, he definitely had a male presence in the audiobook.
Hmm.
Like, he said he was jealous of Ezra at one point.
Mm-hmm.
That's weird. But, yeah, do we have another question? I don't know.
Did you figure out that Aiden was imitating Ezra, or was it a surprise for you all? I found it shocking. I was not expecting it at all.
I was crushed. I was like, no, you didn't.
Yeah, I had no idea. I was that's what really like made it so I couldn't stop reading. Like, I read the whole rest of the book from that point, so I was just like, wait. Yeah, I couldn't believe that.
Somebody asks, oh, I just lost it, hang on. Do you think this book will translate well into movie format, since the novel is known for the interesting layout?
I for sure think that they could do it in a really cool way. Yeah, I mean, it might even be more suited for film. I mean, we'll see. It depends how they do it.
Right. I mean, The Martian had a pretty interesting format, and they were able to like translate it pretty well. I mean, this is a definitely very different format, the book is, but I still feel like it could be translated really
Since
well.
a lot of it is surveillance, we can watch a lot of it, but there is a lot of like texting back and forth, which would mean like, are we going to do like voiceover, or are you just going to be reading?
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's just a lot of decisions like that. And Aiden just talks and narrates a lot.
Right.
So, I don't know, actually. I don't know. Maybe it's suited best for book and audiobook read-along.
Yeah, I think its current format, for like the story we get to experience, it's best suited how it in this format. But I think a movie will be really interesting. It'll be more plot focused. Like, we will get less of like the chatting and stuff like that. It'll be more about like the disease and fleeing the ship and
the computer will talk, but only when needed. I don't think we'll give him like.
Yeah, that's definitely something that can be edited out for time and like
just overall moviness.
Yeah.
And for those watching who don't know, the book has actually been picked up already by Brad Pitt and the Warner Brothers team, so that's really exciting.
Yeah, that's really cool. Has Brad Pitt? He's not going to direct it. Probably he's going to produce it. He's going to just probably
produce it.
Okay. Yeah, that's what you need. Like, when a lot of people don't know that when a book gets optioned for a movie, like, that just means they bought the rights to the script and it's going to sit there. Like, you need a producer championing that script, championing that script so that they'll make it. And Brad Pitt's behind it, like, you best bet that's going to be made.
And the thing is, like, so many books are optioned. Like, so many books are optioned and never go anywhere. So this is really promising. It like has a pretty good chance.
Yep.
Somebody asked predictions for book 2. What do we think is going to happen in the sequel?
Yeah, his mom is going to come after them.
Yeah, and we kind of got what was at the end? Katie was like listing other things. She's like, oh yeah, it's not just about this. It's about this event and this event and this event that she's like been researching.
Yeah, she's been researching ever since they probably got off.
Right.
I forgot. Oh, she's like, in the last 6 months, what do you think I've been doing? And she's like researching all this other stuff, which I don't remember exactly what she said, but
I don't remember either. It wasn't anything clear. It was all very vague. I feel like the stuff that she said, because it was in between her reunion, her like being saved, and her reunion with Ezra, and then we just fell back into that story. Really, it was like, oh my God, Ezra's alive.
yeah.
Did you guys think Ezra was actually dead? Because I did. I didn't know it was more than one book.
I mean, I kind of felt like he was still alive just because I didn't think he would be killed off. Like, I didn't see that happening. But I don't know. And the fact that I knew that there was a sequel, I was like, okay, he'll probably be, show up eventually. But
yeah, I didn't know. It changed everything for me.
Yeah.
I assume once we found out that it wasn't Ezra, like it was Aiden who had like lured her over there, I did think that he might still be alive, like, because he was in his little like pod ship. Like I thought he might have like been out there in space, and like he would save Katie or something like that. Like I was waiting for something along those lines, but then it didn't happen. But he was still alive.
Yeah, I was just like, I was so happy. I thought it was gonna be a tragic love story, or like for the greater good, everyone dies.
This person asks, did anyone think that some of the plot twists were similar to These Broken Stars?
I didn't. I think These Broken Stars did not surprise me at all.
Yeah. I'm trying to even remember the twists that happen in These Broken Stars. I can only think of like one.
Aside from the character, like one of the characters being dead, but then not dead. I don't see anything really similar.
No, I think it was
both of spaceships and like kind of like politics in that realm, and like interviews with like a male and a female main character and stuff like that. But I still think they're very different.
I really want to know like how Jay Kristoff and Amy Kaufman like came together to write this book, and like all the work that went into it, and like how they like formatted it and everything. Like if it was like a big part of on the publisher's side of like the format, or if it was like them kind of brainstorming that out.
I'd be so interested to know like how did they each write like different perspectives, or like did they work on it together, and just even little things like deciding slang, like misspellings when like they're typing so fast that like their words get like jumbled, and there's like typos that are like supposed to be there because that's like the actual document.
Yeah, interesting. Yes, I didn't see the typos. Didn't see that happening. But you know what was funny? Oh, I love the part in the audiobook when he drunk emailed her. Like he was literally like, I'm blah blah.
Yeah, I want to put my face against the keyboard.
But then like I think his keyboard must have been like blah blah because his voice was like blah blah. He was like, and he sounded drunk. He was like, hey, like he was acting. It was great.
Did you like the James McCuntley and Ezra's conversation? I thought they were so funny.
The one about like Power Princess. What is her name? Astro Princess. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a nice humor to the book.
And I like the constant teasing, like the, hey, where's your sister?
Yeah. Yeah, I forgot about that. It got really dark.
No.
Poor McCluskey. He was the guy who shot himself, right?
Yeah.
This person asked, Christine, why didn't you post a book talk?
Literally, I recorded it this morning and it'll be up ASAP.
What book is the Booksplosion book club reading next?
Ooh.
Do we want to reveal that now or do we want to wait?
We've already revealed it a lot.
I know. We revealed it all over the board. Winter by Marissa Meyer. Woo! Winter is here.
Winter is here.
It's here.
I'm reading Cress right now.
I have to. Oh, you're reading Cress. I was like, I haven't started Winter. You already started.
I started it.
That's exciting. I'm gonna finish.
Illuminae.
I finished Illuminae. I have to finish Magnus Chase, and then I'm going to do Winter, and then Passenger. I'm so excited.
Somebody asked, what did you think of the disease?
The disease was crazy. It was scarier than
terrifying.
Because it was a zombie-ness, but it was worse than normal zombies because they still had control over their like coordination and they could still shoot and like think, but they thought just psychotically.
Yeah, it wasn't like it was very zombie-like, but also not because like they weren't after brains. They were just like killing because they were crazy.
Yeah, it was like people from a mental institution escaped. You know, like crazy people, murderers.
Yeah. I liked it though. Like, I have felt like I've been kind of over the whole disease plot in books, but because this one was handled a little bit differently, it was more like well, a lot of them have been biological warfare, but I don't know. I liked how this was handled and like combined with the whole like running from the other ship and like all the politics between them, like conscripting each other.
There's so much more going on that it wasn't that huge of a part of the plot. Like it was, but it wasn't overwhelming.
Yeah, and the thing is, there wasn't a cure, and they weren't trying to find a cure. Like there was nothing like let's get a cure and save these people. It was like let's get out of here and kill them all.
Yeah.
This person asks, what did you guys think about Byron? Byron. Is that how you say it? I don't know.
They call him like Jong. Jong, like Jong is what I was picturing.
Oh, that's his last name.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, they do call him Byron, and I was like, wait, I do remember Byron, but his name, yeah. But she calls him Jong so much, I just forgot.
Yeah.
But I liked him a lot. I love that scene at the end. I thought it was fantastic. Because like you're like, oh, thank God, like someone we know, and then he's like, I'm gonna kill you. It's your turn. Oh God, it was so scary.
Yeah.
I'm running out of questions here. This question is, what was your first impression of the book before reading the blurb or anything? Well, we were at BEA when we first like found out about it, really, right? And they like had stacks, like this massive stack of the book, and we're like, okay, there's some hype behind that book. We got to get it. So we picked it up, and I don't know. I was really intrigued right off the bat because it's just like we've never seen like a hardcover arc. They don't normally have these, so that was like really intriguing. Yeah, and I mean, when you just like start flipping through, you're like, what the heck is this book even? Because of the way that it's formatted.
Yeah, if you saw our like book hauls, we were all like, who even know? Look at it. It's very, very cool.
What would you guys think if this book was told in a more traditional way? Like, maybe we saw it through like just a straight like third-person narration of everything.
I don't think it would have been half as cool.
But I feel like it wouldn't like. I feel like it'd still be really good.
It would, but it wouldn't have like the
same effect.
Yeah, the quirkiness that you get from this one.
Right.
Like I can't I can't like grasp the word I'm looking for, but it has a certain like air to it because it's like this, you know. It's like
Yeah.
it's another level. It's on another level because it's different. But that's not what I was looking for. Yeah. Yeah. I can't get up the Twitter. It's really annoying me. Like,
Why do you guys think Aiden shot down Corbin? I can't say it.
Copernicus?
Yes, and actually brought the disease to the Alexander.
Well, he didn't bring the disease. Like, he didn't. Oh, he opened up the gates so that everyone would die because he didn't like their decisions. He didn't want to be shut off.
But yeah, it was the humans trying to save the people in the escape pods that brought the disease to the Alexander.
The Alexander. What type of lipstick do you use? I use MAC lipstick. Russian red. If you put in the story, what do you think would happen to you?
I would probably die.
I probably got
I'd get the disease and I'd turn into a zombie, a space zombie.
I would hope that I was on like the Hypatia.
Yeah, I want to be on that one. The safe one.
Yeah, they got the best end of the stick there.
Yeah, for real.
This person asks, do you think this book works as a standalone? Do you think the second book will be formatted the same way?
I think they'll definitely.
Yeah, I think there's no way that it wouldn't be formatted the same way, because that's what makes this book like really unique.
I think it works as a standalone, honestly. If we didn't have like the little edge of like keep running or whatever it is at the end, I think it would have worked.
I think it works as a standalone, but I don't know how you can read this book and not want more. Like, it was so exciting and interesting that I'm really excited for the sequel.
Yeah, but I think it could have worked as a standalone, especially if we didn't have that little, like Christine said, we didn't have that little hint of like there's more going on here. Like we definitely could have wrapped this up as a standalone with the happy ending, or we could have wrapped it up with the really messed up ending. Like Ezra was actually dead, Katie died at the end. Like
yeah, I literally thought she was a goner. I was just like,
I did too. I thought Katie was dead.
Yeah, I thought everyone was dead. I was like, they're gonna make statues for her.
Should we take like 3 more questions, maybe?
Yeah. You know, I found the same thing. It's like it's hard to talk about this book because it's really visual and it's really like audible. It's really like it's not like we're gonna talk about things forever. There's just like so much stuff. It's hard to like. I don't know. It's hard to talk about it because there's so much going on in it.
Somebody in the comments apparently stabbed themselves with a nail. You should go take care of that.
What?
They're like asking for advice. Like, I stabbed myself with a nail. What do I do?
Call your mom.
Yeah, go to your mom. Your mom will help you.
Your mom will help you, or your dad, or your sister, or your distant uncle if you don't have any of them accessible.
I'm struggling finding questions.
That's true. I can't.
Well, let's talk about their moms, because that was
so sad.
I thought I missed something at first, because like Katie kept like avoiding talking about her mom, and I was like, wait, did something happen to her? Like, what's going on? We found out, and it was like, oh.
Yeah, it was really sad. I like how they did it though. I like how it was revealed through just
the request.
It was like, yeah, the requests to transfer. I was like, oh no. Oh, it was sad. We didn't really get to meet her mom. We just heard how much she means to her.
Do you guys think Katie's dad is alive?
I think so, for sure.
Yeah.
He's got to be alive.
Yeah.
Like, we just talked about him so much that it would be such a stupid thing to add in if he wasn't alive.
Sure.
This person asks, did I miss anything crucial by reading the audiobook? Hadn't realized how unusual the printed book was.
Reading.
I don't. I mean, you missed out on like the overall format of the book. I mean, that's really interesting, and like there's pictures throughout the book, like made up of text and stuff. But I don't.
I would say if you get a chance, like go flip through it a little bit. Like you already know the story, you don't need to like sit there and read it. But go to a bookstore, flip through it, and check out some of the formatting and stuff like that because it was really cool.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. That's what I just did.
This person asks, which character do you relate the most to? I didn't really find myself like relating to anybody really.
I mean, I guess Ezra, if I had to pick one.
Yeah, it's hard because we don't see much of their lives in a normal situation. Like they're in this very extreme, heightened, life or death, crazy madness situation. So yeah, it's more difficult, but probably Ezra as well.
I feel like I have one. I guess I'll go with Ezra too. I'll just hop on that bandwagon.
Yeah, because Ezra, like he's like the normal guy.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't know how to do all the like hacking, and like he didn't know how to be a soldier even. He had trained and just doing his best. Hello? Oh, I thought it froze. Are there any more questions? Should we wrap up?
What was your favorite not necessarily perspective, but like format or like whatever to read? Like what was your favorite?
I love the IMs. I think that those were my favorite, like the instant messaging between the characters. It was just like a lot of fun to read.
That's a lot.
That was like where a lot of the humor was, I felt.
Yeah. Those are fun. I think my favorite to listen to, like I found it like the easiest to follow. I don't know. I like the text, but I also really like the Scottish guy, the surveillance guy. I like when he was telling the story to us.
The guy we didn't even realize was Scottish.
Yeah, I liked both of those as well. I think maybe probably the surveillance one because not only did that have some humor as well, which I really liked, but it was also like the way he talked, like his usage of language was just like really interesting. Like maybe he wanted to be a writer at some point in his life because he's like the way he's like stringing the sentences together.
Yeah, he was fun. I can't like it all kind of meshes together in my brain because I listened to it. But the parts where the captains would talk to each other, I really enjoyed those too. I felt like they were really easy to follow. I don't know what that was. Was that like a transcript? I don't know. Like Alexander, Hypatia.
Yeah, those were like calling over the radio, but then there were some like email messages back and forth too.
And I liked Aiden's narration. He was easy.
Yeah, this was interesting.
Yeah.
What was his voice like in the audiobook? Was it?
It was like this. It
Robot style.
Katie, am I not merciful? Am I not great? Like he was just like very subtle. It was robot-y, but it kind of sounded like Alec Baldwin.
Oh my god.
So did the captain. The captain was like Alec Baldwin in regular human form, and then like he was like computer Alec Baldwin.
That's so funny.
What character death hit you guys the hardest?
Oh, definitely the fake death of Ezra.
I think like Katie's death, because I like, just wasn't expecting that, even though like obviously she's alive or whatever, but like that just shocked me. It's like, what?
Yeah, I was like, she's gonna die. She's done.
Some of the others hit me harder because
Really?
like I don't know. There was the whole part where we got like the whole list of survivor names and then all their photos, and it just went on for like pages. Like you keep turning.
There were photos?
It's like
Yeah, there's like
Also,
Like a
the,
collage
the,
photo?
the black box recording when the people thought they were all gonna die and they're like saying goodbye. And, like the one guy's like, I should have asked you to marry me before. He's talking about how he like regretted not proposing, and it's just like, oh god.
These are the pages, Christine. They like have like the faces
Oh
on
my
them.
god. Dude, it's like a yearbook.
And there's like a couple pages of them.
You know, it's just like page after page.
Page after page.
Wait, are there names?
Yeah, there's also names, like there's a listing.
Okay, yeah, because that's what I heard, the listing.
This is where Katrina's at in here somewhere. I think. Little book owl.
Little book hour.
Alright.
Cool. Oh man, so that was Illuminae. It was a hell of a book, guys. If you watch this whole thing and haven't read it, highly recommend.
Go check it out.
Go check it out. This has been our Booksplosion live show. Next month we're going to be reading Winter by Marissa Meyer, and it's the fourth and final book in the Cinder. Is it the Lunar Chronicles?
Lunar Chronicles, yeah.
Chronicles, which is fantastic. Like, they're so good. If you need to know what they're about, I think a lot of us have reviews on them, so just, like, search it. Nice cat.
I have no possessions.
I am Christine.
I'm Jesse.
I'm Kat.
We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.